definition of genocide, okay, as represented by the Geneva Convention, and you will see that Israel basically satisfies at least two conditions in that definition of genocide.
Mister, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure, why not?
All right. What are you doing out here today?
I'm protesting basically the genocide and the massacres that Israel basically is causing against the Palestinian people in Gaza.
Genocide, that's a pretty strong word.
It is a strong word.
Can you back that up?
Definitely I can back it up. Just go look up the definition of genocide as represented by the Geneva Convention, and you will see that Israel meets at least 2 or 3 of those conditions.
Would you go as far as calling it a Holocaust?
Let's not use the word Holocaust because we seem to get a lot of opposition when we use that word of Holocaust. But let's go with genocide for now. So and I think the leaders in Israel, the politicians and the generals who are carrying out this genocide should be tried in The Hague for what they're doing today.
So why do you think they're committing genocide?
Why are they committing genocide? Because they're not really interested in peace. What they're interested is in the land. They want to make life so miserable, so difficult for the Palestinian people. They want to break their will. They want to take over the land and basically force the Palestinian people to leave what they believe was promised to them by God. That's basically what they claim.
So, I mean, haven't they been occupying it since 1948?
They have.
Why
it's a slow genocide.
Aren't they happy
basically
with just occupying it?
Well,
do they want?
If we look at the West Bank, what's going on in the West Bank right now, you'll notice that we have basically Mahmoud Abbas, who's really a puppet. That's all he is in the West Bank. Mahmoud Abbas is a man who will not oppose the U.S. He will not oppose Israel. Basically, he will do whatever they tell him to do. You know, he is a man who is sending his own police force to oppress basically people who are opposing the killing in Gaza. I mean, these are Palestinians who are opposing what's happening in Gaza, and his own police force, which is composed of Palestinian people, is oppressing these protesters from opposing what's happening, this genocide, this massacre. So obviously, Mahmoud Abbas is a weak, corrupt politician who doesn't really care about his people. All he cares about is basically staying in power. That's all it's all about. That's all it's all about. Israel says it's Hamas that it's fighting today. You know what? If it wasn't Hamas, it was any other organization that basically did not succumb to Israel's will, did not do what Israel wanted them to do, they would do the same thing with them. They could be Islamic, they could be a democratic organization, they could be a communist organization. It doesn't matter what they are. As long as they do not satisfy what Israel wants them to do, they will be killed and massacred, and they will claim that these people are terrorists, and they will go ahead and bomb them, kill innocent children, kill innocent women. You know, today if you look at what's happening, they're bombing mosques. They bombed over 9 mosques, okay? They bombed pharmacies, they bombed schools, claiming that weapons are hidden in there. They bombed universities. They claim, well, this university was a university that was at one time that had people graduating who were Hamas members, or it was founded by Hamas members, you know? And then they said, oh, well, the weapons development is carried out in these universities. You know what? Weapons development is carried out in the universities in the U.S. too. We don't see, you know, how would you view it if people went and bombed some university like MIT or whatever because, you know, they assisted the Department of Defense in producing weapons? That's if it is actually, you know, there's an element of truth to that, which I truly doubt. Because that university is a well-respected university. It has ties to many universities outside in Europe, in the U.S., and unfortunately, the politicians, the academic community is not standing up for the Palestinian people's rights. They're not standing up. They should be opposing. They should be protesting against what's happening in Gaza today. For the bombing of universities, for the bombing of the girls' dormitory. Did you know that the university in Gaza has 60% women in it? 60% women. If Hamas was like Afghanistan, Taliban as they claim, then there would not be 60% women graduating from that university. So we need to stand up and speak out and stop this nonsense.
So can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Why do you think it's so easy for the American public to accept the Israeli projection of this is why they're doing this in self-defense?
I don't really, blame the American public for unfortunately, they're ignorant. Unfortunately, they've been brainwashed by the American media. If you listen to the American media today, you turn on Fox News, you turn on CNN, all the people that they invite, basically supposed to have this discussion with, are obviously 95% of the time pro-Israeli, or they represent the Israeli view of things. So, if you're an American who hardly knows where Palestine is, or Gaza is, or Israel is, what do you expect? What do you expect? You hear continuously, you turn on your TV, you switch the channel, all you hear is the Hamas terrorist fired missile, Hamas terrorist fired missile, but you don't hear about basically, the suffocating siege that Gaza has been living for over 3 years. True, Israel pulled out of Gaza, but the occupation remains. They control everything. They control the sea, they control the land, they control what goes in, what comes out, who goes in, who goes out, even the air that people breathe, they control. Anytime they want, they can drop basically weapons on the people. They can carry out their F-16 bombings. The Palestinian children are terrorized every day of their life. They are terrorized. They claim that the Palestinians are terrorizing the Jews in Sderot and I don't know what. Look at what the Palestinians are living with in Gaza every day. F-16 fighters, basically sonic booms and whatever you want are being carried out every day in Gaza. Every day. Palestinian children can't sleep. They can't eat properly. They basically, kids are peeing in their pants because of what's going on in Gaza today. This is an injustice. This is a crime. This is genocide. It has to stop. Bush is a phony. He does not represent democracy. He doesn't represent liberty. He